If there is one thing that has become a common staple, if not industry requirement at this point, is the practice of adaptation in anime. And the anime industry will adapt anything. Or I really mean it, anything. Manga, light novels, video games, history, religion, Shakespeare, fucking bread, I don't care. You name it, somebody is probably going to turn it into an anime if they haven't already. One form of media that anime seems absolutely delighted to adapt is the visual novel. Anyways, visual novels have become a popular form of media, and anime loves adapting that media, but more often than not, these adaptations fail incredibly badly. Why so? Well, most visual novels are separated into different character roots that are chosen throughout the decisions you make in the game. These character roots can vary greatly in plot, characterization, and tone. They're essentially different stories that are not connected to each other in the way that they progress. So you have a few choices when it comes to adapting the source material. Are you going to just pick one route and adapt it? Well, that would be cutting off the fan base of the other stories and possibly alienating potential viewers. Combine all the routes together and pick one anime-only ending so that the game won't be spoiled and it will appeal to a wider audience. This is a good decision, but will all these stories blend together peacefully or crash horribly? Then we get to a third option. Combine everything together, endings and all, and try your hardest to make it work. Spoiler alert, it rarely does. So now I bring up Blood of the Reprimanded Dog, aka Togainu no Chi. Blood of the Reprimanded Dog was originally a BL visual novel created by the wonderful Nitro Plus Chiral, who are known for their wide array of visual novels, but mainly their guy-on-guy ones. For those who don't know what BL is, it just means boys love, and can either mean something is shonen ai or yaoi related. Shonen ai is a genre of male/male stories where the romance is based primarily on feelings and interactions. It's usually quite pure and tends to have a bit more of a story than yaoi does. Yaoi is a genre of man/man stories that are usually more sexual in nature. These characters may or may not have feelings for each other. The plot may be paper thin, if non-existent. Usually yaoi is just hot guy-on-guy action, and that's it. Not to say that all yaoi is like that, but a majority is. You're lucky if the story expands deeper than the paper-thin explanation in the first few chapters. Not to say that there isn't well thought out yaoi with good plot and characters and a storyline that actually brings out emotion in me. Or that there are some shonen ai stories that have no plot and can be quite meaningless in presentation. If I were to think of an example for yaoi that has a good plot and good storyline, I would definitely think of something along the lines of Blood Bank or Killing Stalking. Another good yaoi that I would say falls into that line would be Cut, but Cut does fall more into shonen ai territory. These are just the majority terms. So Blood of the Reprimanded Dog is a BL visual novel, but it has a story. It's about this guy, Akira, who is forced to go to this one really bad place in post-apocalyptic Japan to fight in a game called Igira in exchange for being freed from prison for a crime he didn't commit. The goal of the game is to beat El Rey, the strongest guy in the game, and yeah, win and shit. So there's your plot. Simple, but it works. The game is alright. Not planning on singing its praises from every rooftop anytime soon, but it's good. But we're not here to talk about the visual novel today. We're here to talk about the god-awful 2010 adaptation of Blood of the Reprimanded Dog. The story is the same as previously mentioned, and we're following Akira around Toshima. His character is that he is an emo. He likes omelet rice. Keisuke is cool with him sometimes. He fights well. That's about it. Then there's Keisuke, the childhood best friend who loves him but won't say because, oh, I'm fine with the relationship we've got going, but if anyone touches you, that's bad because you're mine, but you really aren't. So yeah, par for the course. There's Rin, who is effeminate and short and cute, and is also a badass and flirts a lot, so he has some personality issues going on there. There is Motami, who smokes a lot and is cool and knows everybody, and he has seen some shit, man. There is Shiki, who kills people and wears tightly fitted leather. He's also an emo, but he seems to be going for the Cure look, while Akira is going for broke teen circa 2005 MySpace. And there's these guys. I'll just be quick about them. One big harmful gay stereotype. The love child of Hidekin and Pain. The Bara, who is in a relationship with the middle pole. This poor guy in the S&M suit that nobody really questions. Like, I guess that's normal, whatever. And then there's this guy. He's a guy. He has a deep voice and can kill you. Let's move on. The structure of Blood of the Reprimanded Dog's adaptation format is to combine everything, all the good and the bad, into one story, which might have worked if they didn't decide to neuter the show completely. My first problem with Blood of the Reprimanded Dog is that it seems to be ashamed of its source material, yet still uses its themes from time to time to catch a profit. Blood of the Reprimanded Dog is a BL visual novel. There are guys having sex. Lots of it. Everywhere. Anytime. The anime, of course, doesn't have to go that far, but here, let me show you every slight indicator that this show was based off of a BL game.
Akira! よかった。Akira いつもこれ食べてるよね。
一口くれよ。
美しい。その反抗的な目もゾクゾクするな。
別に。
優しい人だといいな。
I'm die. Thank you, whoever.
アキラ。ごめん。
謝るな。
Uh-huh. Yep. Not much. Not much at all. And the very little that we do get is usually in the form of this guy, who's as toxic and offensive as it gets. Wouldn't it be better to show off your roots with more positive indicators of homosexuality in our heroes? I'm not saying that we shouldn't have gay villains in media. No. But when everybody in the visual novel is gay, and the only guy that is completely affirmed to be gay in the anime is this grossly misconstrued villain, then we have problems. The second problem is the violence. This show is pretty violent for the norm, with lots of action scenes and gore. In fact, this show seems to put in an action scene for every time it takes out a BL scene. You know, that sounds like repression, depression to me. But okay, that's cool. We're focusing on the action parts of the plot. I get it. This could work. Only it doesn't. It really doesn't. The action scenes are terribly choreographed, filled to the brim with the cheesiest of cheesiest dialogue. The gore has been censored with these ugly black bars that cover the whole scene. And sometimes they just decide to not show any action at all. Look at this scene! You can hear the fight, but you can't see it at all.
Akira はやらせない。
This goes on for forever. Why? The budget? I mean, I can understand the budget problems, but instead of doing this, you can just shorten the scene, which they already did, and by this time the plot has completely fallen into pieces, so who cares about continuity anyways? Also, on the topic of dialogue, this show has a terrible script. Who wrote this? Let's see. Daisuke Watanabe, Yuki Sugawara, Natsuko Takahashi, this guy, who wrote the other episodes, who knows? Just know that these people took part in the creation of this. There is no winner here. Y'all all phoned it in and failed. Everybody failed. Examples of the atrocious dialogue present in this show.
がない自在にその形を変え流れゆくだがひとたびよどめば汚れゆく儚き存在いい加減白状しやがれ
無敗の帝王ロストも地に落ちたもんだ殺しまでやっちまうとはな抵抗しても罪はかさむだけだぜ
Okay, so the animators were phoning it in as well, it seems. This show has moments where it looks actually really good. The opening is amazing and 10 times better than the show. Like, what's up with that opening? I want to watch that show, not this. But most of the time, it looks bland. The color scheme is boring. And just that, boring. The character designs look like the original characters, but also like completely different. These frames, guys. These frames are killing me. Naoyuki Kono, I had high hopes for you. But you fucked up, man. Big time. This show just keeps up with the trend that shit shows are usually shot in Dutch angles, which I find quite offensive to Dutch angles. There are scenes that are out of place and just weird. Everything is standard and bland. The fight scenes especially. The voice acting also seemed to be not cast very well. Certain actors just didn't fit their roles at all, and it makes me wonder why. Why try to put somebody into a role that doesn't suit them when it doesn't work? So much stuff happened in the end of Blood of the Reprimanded Dog. We find out that Shiki's brother is Rin for some reason, and there is a tragic backstory, and everybody knows everyone. There's a civil war that feels so forced and useless. Nobody has told us that much about the politics in the show, so we don't even know who is fighting who, and why should we care? They don't. Why did his son die? Why did Akira go back and start fighting Shiki again? Oh yeah, Shiki is alright. Like, we literally didn't see that coming from a mile away. First episode, I was like, oh, he's alright. Your plot reveal was obvious. Why did Shiki survive the blood thing? Why did you give Shiki your blood in the first place? I know that you might have thought that the blood would kill him, but he's Shiki. He's kind of strong. And how could we even know what you want? You have no emotions. You talk like watching paint dry. What even happened to that guy? Like, who cares? Nobody cares. What is even Akira's motivations at this point? Why did he leave home? And don't even get me started on Keisuke's death. This show just had so much potential if the people working on it actually gave a shit. They wanted to adapt Togainu no Chi because it had a fan base from the visual novel. People would watch it. But people seem to underestimate how hard it is to adapt a visual novel and decide to do a half-assed job instead of respect what they're working on. And that is what is needed in the anime industry. Respect to their titles and their properties. My one positive about the series is its music. The opening song, Rosehip Bullet, was amazing and really got you pumped up to watch the show. The ending songs changes every episode, and it was always fun to get to the end and listen to another new song. The songs varied in quality, but were all at the minimum good, and also stayed with the gritty theme the show was trying to go for. The background music was mostly standard course, but there were these moments where a guitar riff or a solo would randomly pop up and the music would get 10 times better. I'm not kidding when I say I began to start watching the show just for its soundtrack and unintended comedy. This show was terrible. Some parts I found promising, such as Keisuke and Akira's scene, where Akira is trying to get the drug line out of Keisuke's system. I thought it was one of the few times the show actually intrigued me and made me want to know more about these characters. Sadly, the show didn't seem to go anywhere with this. And that applies to the whole show. Nothing went anywhere. Nothing mattered because nothing in the show matters. The only theme I could get out of this is that guys are hot, drugs are bad. The characters aren't motivated. They don't seem to care about what they're doing. They just go along with things. Everybody makes bad decisions for no reason other than drama to move the show along. Plot points are brought up and then dropped for no reason. This show had potential, but because of its failure to connect with its source material and failure to be independent and have a proper story, that potential was wasted. Blood of the Reprimanded Dogs anime adaptation was neutered from the very start, and sadly will go down in history as just another failed adaptation. So that's all that there is today. I would like to thank you all. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. I am thinking about setting up a Patreon, but that's only if I get enough support. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for watching this far to the end of the video. I hope that you all have a great day and watch good anime. That's all I can really say. Okay, bye-bye.